Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. And what are we getting into? We are getting to Love Island series 11. We are now on episode 30 and it was the film festival. Oh my god, oh lord, what can I say? This is literally strictly going to be off the dome, yeah, because I've just watched the thing and I thought, you know what, I wasn't even able to take notes because I was just like, things were just pinging back and forth and I didn't want to miss a beat, so I just put my phone down, do you know what I mean? So this is going to be off the dome, so bear with me as I'm going through it, yeah. It's not going to be as long as all the other videos that I normally do, because this is just straight reaction. That's not that the others aren't straight, but this, oh my god, it just kept going and going and going. Right, before we get into it, before I get carried away, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know I'm on and doing videos. Please comment, like, share and do all the good things that you do, because I am on the road to 1k. Right, let's get into this episode. So right, everybody's doing their thing, they're in their couples, yeah. They all go out daytime, you know. You can see that Will and Sean are literally trying to, you know, get their groove on with their girls again and making them breakfast, and like they're thinking that it's so sweet. You kind of see Sean pull as well Matilda to have this chat with her, and basically he decides to bring up the fact that Matilda was having these chats with Hugo in regards to what Jess said, and now Sean is getting all irate, saying that he really wants to know what had gone on between them two. So I was like, oh damn, my friend, Sean is trying to literally disassociate himself from the shit that he did by saying, oh, I can't get into trouble for what I've did because Matilda was actually doing the same when she actually wasn't. So Matilda literally did get kind of angry and pissed off at the fact that he's literally having this conversation with her, and also pissed off at the fact that he's trying to lay blame at her feet by getting angry and irate over the fact that she chats to Hugo. Matilda said she had discussions with other people in the villa. She said that right in front of Sean when they were sat down together and Diamante was saying what they were saying. And then when Sean said yes to Maya, he had these conversations with Ruby and with Diamante in front of Matilda. And Matilda said, yeah, well, I had conversations with somebody else in the villa. It was only because Jess got a bee in her bonnet, yeah, that Jess decided to, as I said, break girl code and sit there and backbite Matilda to Sean so in Sean's head, he's now having a justification as to why now he shouldn't feel bad about what he's done, because you know what, Matilda's done the same. It wasn't on the same level. As we know, she'd only had 2 conversations with Hugo. Yes, it was a little bit flirty, but you heard Jake saying certain things about Sean which she laughed at, didn't really defend. You heard Hugo say certain things about Sean which she thought was kind of funny, but then she did pull him to task afterwards. And that's one of the things I will say with the film festival, because I will say they did show those 2 conversations that Matilda had, one with Jake and then the other 2 conversations that she'd had with Hugo. But in the second conversation that she'd had with Hugo, when Hugo was going on with, like, you know, there's more sexualness coming from Matilda coming from Sean than it is to Matilda, and he doesn't think that they're, like, you know, on par with each other when it comes to that, and doesn't believe that Matilda really and truly likes Sean. They cut it off there, making it look like Matilda didn't really say nothing, when she actually did. She did pull him to task and say, well, no, that's not how it goes. You can't come in here and tell me how I think and feel about Sean. She basically told Hugo that she does really like Sean and she loves having her chats with Sean, so she's not seeing what he's saying. So they cut that off there, and I thought that was a bit of a fucked up thing to do, because it made Sean believe that they were backbiting him twice and Matilda didn't stick up for him when she did. So after she'd had that little bit of a set 2, we're back in the daytime, had that set 2 with Sean, she decides to go over and pull Jess in regards to the conversation that Jess has supposedly had with Sean, and now this situation has occurred. Now, when she has this talk with Jess, Jess ain't even saying exactly what she said to Sean. Do you know what I mean? She's playing it off as though, oh no, it was nothing serious. I did let him know that, you know, you did have those talks with him, because Matilda was getting really mad as to the situation that's happening right now, because Sean is literally trying to deflect from the shit that he's done and place it onto Matilda, because Matilda had 2 chats with Hugo and because of what Jess said. So that in itself was fucked up. What Jess did in itself was fucked up as well, but Jess really didn't say nothing in regards to what it is that she said to Sean. Now Jess is really not shying coming forward, and Jess has really got her mouth on her, but at this time I thought it was quite weird that she was very wasn't saying much, because she didn't want to implicate herself as well in regards to the chat that she had with Sean. But you know what, she fucked herself in the foot, because that fucking talk was shown. That talk that she was having with Sean was shown, and it also showed that Jess's mouth was in everybody's business. Nobody picked that up though. That all the drama and the drama surrounding people and things being said were up in Jess. Jess was in everybody's business. Anyway, move on from there. Text comes in. Everybody's like, shit, what the fuck? What's going to happen now? Just before the text did come in though, you see Mimi lying on the day beds, and because you see Jessica and Ayo across the way. I think they're across the way in this little nook thing. I don't know if Mimi can actually see them from where she is, but you can see that Mimi is still getting quite upset about the displays that they're having with each other, because you got Ayo saying that he's happy with his situation with Jessica, like hugging her up, saying that, you know what, she's quite a funny person, she's on his level, yeah, all the spiel that he gives these girls, and they seem to fall for it at the drop of a hat. At the end of the day, you can't blame Jessica for none of this situation. It's all Ayo at the end of the day, and that's the same with Mimi. Mimi doesn't see that Jessica is at fault. She's coming doing what she needed to do, and it's Ayo who should have had the loyalty to her, not the other way around at the end of the day, but he didn't. So then they're giggling and laughing and hugging up, and I think it's I don't know if it's Jess that goes and gets her and moves her away from that situation, and they go over on the daybed and be chatting, or it might have been Nicole who had that conversation with her, I can't remember. So she gets them, they get her to move from where she is and walk somewhere else, and you could tell that, you know what, it's still raw. She's still pissed off with how he's gone on, and she just doesn't need to see the bullshit right in front of her face, basically, which is true. Don't need to see the bullshit. So a text comes in, and basically that's when they all get told that, you know, it's film festival, so be prepared. Will and Sean be shitting themselves all over again, like proper breaking it this time, because they know what's been put on camera is the solid truth. So whatever shit you said to Matilda or Uma, will, especially Will, in how he tried to play down the situation that he had with Lucy, and tried to say that Lucy took what he said out of context, yeah, he played that game rather than admitting the truth and apologizing to Uma. He played that game. He played ignorance, yeah, and made it look like Lucy was the one in the wrong. Now that shit is going to come to fruition, and Will knows it. Will knows it. But the problem with Will is he doesn't meet things head on. He gets hella defensive. He gets hella dismissive, condescending, and a little bit gaslighty with his responses. It's fucking disgusting to watch, to be fair. That's all I can say. It was absolutely disgusting to watch the way he completely invalidated Uma's feelings, yeah. It was completely dismissive of what she was feeling and what she just saw, rather than turn around and just say, you know what, I hold my hands up, I was wrong in what I did, and now I know what it looks like, and I sincerely apologise to you for having to watch that, and for me not explaining it to you in the way that I should have done. That's what he should have done if he really wanted it to work with Uma. But Will is a dickhead. Will is an absolute dickhead. You got caught out, but yet can't admit your faults. like literally dismissive. And yeah, and another person that was dismissive was Sean and Ayo as well. All three of them, they want to say and sit there that they're men, that they're attentive, that they're sensitive, that they're decent, that and da. But when they get caught out in their own bullshit, they're disgusting. Their behaviour and their attitude is disgusting, even to the point where Jessica had to turn to Ayo and say he's not being considerate at all of Mimi's feelings, because you literally made Mimi look like a dickhead up on that screen, especially when she was back in Casa Amor, not getting to know one damn person, not having chats with people or anything like that, because she was staying true and loyal to this dickhead in the villa who didn't give her a fucking blight, like literally forgot about her, and then wants to sit in this girl's face after we've all watched it, want to sit in this girl's face and try and tell her, well, I did tell her I was happy with her, but I was not closed off. And I'm like, no. My guy, this is not the time to do that. That was not the time to do that, especially when we all saw what you did in black and white on the raw screen, and everybody went quiet when that shit happened, because it was like, yeah, now we see you, and this is it. Ayo, Sean, and Will, even down to Joey, them four don't like being called out on their behaviour. They really don't, because all they want to do is deflect. They want to deflect away from the bullshit that is being shown that is them. So it does show these scenarios as well where Blade was talking about the other guys in the villa, especially when it came to the three people who he thought he would have their head turned. And he said Will, and he said Kieran, and he said Sean. He said it was with Kieran, he said it was a toss-up between Ayo and Kieran. Ayo went, me? Why me? Really, Ayo? Why you? And you really wanted him to explain that? But it was, for me, it was the way in which Joey started kicking off, like proper kicking off, because Joey kicked off in the first beat because it first came up with him, right, on the video, and the conversations he was having with Grace, the conversations he was having with Jesse, the messing around on the terrace with Jesse, and the kissing and all this, that and the other, right? And the shit that was being said as well in the in Casa Amor, but by Blade. So my thing is Grace started going at him, like proper started going at him in regards to the timeline of what was happening, because Joey was trying to play it like it wasn't said on the same day, but it was the whole sequence from that whole day. He came back from the date the night before, and then the whole sequence from that whole day, basically. And especially after he told Jesse about how he hasn't had that deep of a conversation with someone, more so with Jesse than he had with Grace at the time he's been in the villa. Yeah, so then he was talking to Grace and talking about how, like, he still wants her, and yada yada yada, and then it went from there to the freaking this was all in one freaking day, and that's what Joey failed to fucking realize. You were going from one girl and telling one girl something in their face, and then you were going from the other girl and telling something in their head too, and Joey couldn't get that. Joey could not get it. He was just again defensive and deflecting on everything here. So especially when it came to the situation with Blade, tell me why Joey decided to get up on his high horse, literally offering Blade out on how fast he could run. I thought, this is a special brand of stupidity right here. Like, at this point I was like, Joey, you need to shut your mouth. Like, seriously, pipe down, shut up. Because he was trying to say to Blade, what were you calling me, stupid? Well, in what Blade was saying, he actually, yeah, he was calling Joey stupid, because he did say in his comment that, you know what, Joey's not very quick off the mark, is he technically was calling Joey stupid at the end of the day. And Jesse only piped up to say, well, I did defend you on that one. Yeah, you did. Any other else, Jesse was very quiet, because the only two people that were arguing up in that place was Joey and Grace. And there you could see the actual passion that was still between them, that there's a thin line between love and hate, and you could still see the passion that was between Grace and Joey when they were having an argument. Now, the reason why I say Grace brought Blade in to fuck Joey off, because even Sean asked the question of Grace. So, did you bring Blade in then just to make Joey jealous, or along them lines? I'm paraphrasing, because that's the feeling that I got, and Grace was trying to deny that to the hilt. But I'm telling you, that's the reason why she picked Blade and not Messiah. That is totally the reason why she picked Blade and not Messiah. And again, when Joey and freaking Blade were going at it, who was grinning their fucking arse off but Grace? Because she loves that shit. She loves that shit. She loves when two guys are literally going to bat and to the hilt for her at the end of the day. And she loved the fact that Joey and Blade was getting into it, because Joey was champing at the bit to have a go at Blade over something, let me tell you, because I think Joey still has some kind of feeling for Grace, but he's saving face right now, because there's no way he could go back to Grace and play that long game again with her, bearing in mind all the stuff that he said about Jessie and that he wants to be with Jessie. So there we go. So it does show Hugo as well, when Hugo and Matilda had their talks, because it looked like it was going through the girls' bits and everything they were talking about at first. So it does, I am jumping from bit to bit. It's not in linear fashion at the end of the day, so you know, bear with me on it. So they do show the conversations that Matilda had with Hugo, and the conversation that she had with Jacob as already mentioned, and Sean going off there in regards to, you see now all the girls are getting caught out in the conversations that they had. And I thought, no, they're not, because at the end of the day, they've told you the conversations that they had with people. At the end of the day, you could see that, you know, she's not full on flirting with them. Yes, Jake said that he believed that Sean was punching. Joey then defends Sean and saying he's actually not punching. You could kind of say that he is, but hey ho, we'll move on from there. And Sean then gets in his bag and starts saying, oh well, there was a lot more there than what you told me, and and I'm like, hold on my friend, yeah. At the end of the day, Matilda's within her rights to talk to other people if she wants to talk with other people. You two are not closed off or in a relationship in that sense of the word. Matilda still stayed loyal to your backside, because she didn't entertain no kissing. She didn't entertain no lipsing up in no bed, no hugging, no this, no that, no telling people that they're her priority. So Sean's faux pas is not on level as to Matilda's at the end of the day. So Sean is trying again to compare apples and oranges where it's not going to work, right? At that point, Matilda was getting pissed at this man, like hella getting pissed at this man. And I think at that point Matilda was done, but we'll see what happens from the fallout in this episode tonight, because I don't know if she'll end up talking to Sean again, or she'll make sure things are done and dusted with Sean, because the way that went, it was not great. It was not great at all. And all I will say is the pièce de résistance, besides Ayo's shit, yeah, was freaking Will. Now, Will shit came up. Uma was watching this. So it came to the point where, like, you know, because there was a lot of kisses, and I think it was the kiss out on the terrace, and this was after this dude, yeah, had turned around and said to Lucy in regards to the recoupling comment that I've already mentioned in previous episodes. And Mimi put her hand over Uma's eyes so she don't see the rest, and Uma was like, no, don't do that, I need to see this. Because at the end of the day, that man who's sitting over there right now, who's gone red in the face, yeah, red to the point his eyes look like they're about to water, was sitting there and telling Uma that Lucy had got it wrong and got everything out of context. Now you can't take a recording out of context. Will literally just went on the defensive fully, basically was trying to call out Uma, basically was trying to turn around and say, well, you've seen it on the screen, you've seen what you need to see, so what do I need to say? I'm like, my guy, you need to slow your motherfucking roll, you absolute bone-idle dickhead. At the end of the day, Will got freaking caught out in his lies because he did lie to Uma. He did. He downplayed everything that Lucy has said, had an answer for everything that Lucy has said that this girl had taken his words out of context and it didn't mean what she was trying to say. But he can't default what was on video now. Like, seriously, cannot default what was on video. I don't know how Will's going to try and come back from the shit that he displayed that night, because it's kind of like these lads, especially when it came to Joey, especially when it came to Ao, especially when it came to Will, and especially when it came to Sean, literally were trying to downplay what was shown on the screen, or literally try and convince people that what they saw was not there. That's how it was going on to me. Literally, that there was no empathy shown to the hurt that was caused to Uma and to Mimi by Ao and Will. No empathy in the slightest, that these two girls will be hella hurt due to what these people that they thought they were different people had done. It was fucking disgusting. Like, seriously, their behaviour was disgusting to watch. Really disgusting to watch. The girls handled themselves okay. Uma fled, like basically fled, and just told Will to shut up. Basically, at the end of the day, she's seen what she needed to see. Yeah, all you needed to do from then on was shut your mouth. Like, seriously, shut your mouth. Don't want to hear your excuses. Don't want to hear your lies. Don't want to hear your defensive stances. Yeah, because Will gets hella insultive when he does it. Hella insultive. He's been caught out. He knows he's been caught out. He knows he's done wrong, but yet wants to put the blame over onto Uma, which is piss poor behaviour in and of itself. And then you have the boys there defending his clout. What the fuck are you defending? The only people who weren't defending them is Blade and Hugo. I ain't defending that shit. What they needed to do was back the fuck down, shut the fuck up, and sit in the shit that they caused at the end of the day. But no, they couldn't even do that. Couldn't do that. So I probably missed little bits out, but it gets to the end of it, yeah. Well, as we thought, they all get up, they go and move to their different spaces. Oh, and Nicole is still going off because there was the clip of Kieran talking to Ellie, and it came up that, you know, where Ellie agreed that it was a little bit of DMs going back and forth, and she says, oh, and you invited me to your house, and he went, oh yeah, I did, didn't I? Flippantly, you know, flippantly, because he fucking forgot. Nicole went off on one. I'm like, what you going off on one for? This was before you. Why does he have to remember every little bit that you want him to remember? What the fuck? He's not a storyteller at the end of the day. All Kieran needed to let Nicole know was, I've known Ellie before, it's nothing serious, that's it. That's all he needed to let her know. But no, she wants every little freaking detail, which is ridiculous. If it's been years, yonks and years, you ain't gonna remember everything that happened. So she goes off on that one. Kieran is rightfully so, trying to defend himself. And then it comes out in regards to them showing all the bits where Nicole has backbited Kieran like a motherfucker, and even said the triggering word that he hates, which is calling him childish, and she said it to someone, yeah, which triggered the fuck out of Kieran, because that's one of his pet peeves, is either someone calling him childish or calling him immature. He doesn't like it, and the one person that he said that he loved called him childish behind his back. He didn't like it. So the shit that Nicole was saying was pretty bad, so he called her out. Do you think that girl accepted any responsibility for her own actions? She wanted to have a go at Kieran for a slip up, yeah, but when it came to her behaviour and the shit that she was saying behind this man's back, nothing. She just got more angry at Kieran. Didn't accept nothing. And that's the thing about Nicole. She doesn't like to hear bad said about herself, because the one main thing as well that she got pissed off at is, like, when Kieran was talking to one of the lads, the same way she talks to the girls and was talking behind her back, that he felt he was walking on eggshells with the girl. And she hated that. She hated to hear that, but she needed to hear that. She got angry. And my thing is this is why Kieran says he feels like he's walking on eggshells with you, because every little thing that gets brought up, he's afraid of your fucking reaction. So he's literally tiptoeing around you to not do nothing wrong, because he can't do right for doing wrong in this girl's eyes. And she doesn't get that. She doesn't see it. And this is why I said before she came on this show, she needed to literally work on herself, like seriously work on herself. But as I said, they all moved off, went into their little fractions, and then then the TV went off again for Critics' Choice, and they were like, shit, it's not finished. So they all went back to sit down to see what the fuck's gonna happen now, and this is where it comes out, where the public had literally been voting for the most compatible. So all there was a text, and it just read out Trey and Ellie's names as the least. They were the least compatible. They got the lowest votes, and they were specifically like excommunicated from the villa. So they were dumped from the villa at that point in time. Everyone was shocked, and I said, yeah, because we are watching this shit and seeing how you lot are fucking behaving with each other, and you lot seem to forget that us as the public have the voting power to either let you stay in there or get you out of there. So this shocked the hell out of all of them. And I weren't bothered that Trey and Ellie was going at the end of the day, because Ellie got on my nerves, to be honest with you, with this situation that she caused with Kieran and Nicole. And Trey's a bit of a dick, to be fair. And even more so, the fact that he was, I can't remember who it was he was hugging, and then he gives a wink to Jess. I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? I think that means I'm going to find you when you come out. Unfinished business right there between them two. So Ellie and Trey left. The girls went and got ready for the night. Literally, Uma was going off. Will looked hella shell shocked, sitting in, I think he was either still outside or sitting in the room. All I thought was, you know what, nobody share a bed with that girl tonight, you know. You might go sleep on a dear bed if I was you. All the lads just didn't talk, like they were silent. The girls were in their room just going off as they normally do. I do feel bad for Jessica though, I really do, because she's caught in a situation not of her own making at the end of the day. So I know you could see that she really wants to be there for Mimi, and she really would like to be a friend to Mimi, but she doesn't know how to play it. So she's there apologising, and I'm like, what are you apologising for? Even Mimi said, no, it's nothing to do with you, it's Ayo. And that's what Jess told her when they were outside watching the stuff, that Mimi's not mad at you at all. It's how Ayo has conducted himself and behaved with her that she doesn't like, which Jessica understood. And Jessica just wants to be able to do something for Mimi, but knows that she can't because of the situation that they're in at the moment, and plus the fact that the guy that she's with has caused this level of hurt to another fellow sister at the end of the day, and she doesn't know what to do with herself. So that's why I feel bad for Jessica, because it's not Jessica's fault in the slightest. And you know, you got to also realize that she is the only, besides Emma, the other Casa Amor, that girl that's there, but it's her coupling with Ayo has caused more of a controversy, shall I say, because Connor went with no one anyway, to be fair, so nobody's really bothered about that. But all I can say is that is kind of where the episode ended. I'll be back in quick succession with the next episode once it airs. As I always say, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so you know when I'm doing videos. Please comment, like, share, and do all the good things that you do, because I am on the road to 1K. And I'll be back across your screens very, very soon. Peace out.